Good morning, world. It's Deborah here. I'm going to just give a little talk about this upcoming triple conjunction of Uranus, Mars, and the North Node conjuncting at 18 degrees of Taurus on July 31st into August 1st. I wanted to give what's coming to me around this, like what it's bringing up for me and the meaning behind it. There's so many astrologers out there talking about this, and everybody has a different perspective. Some people see it playing out how it would play out on the world stage, or from this perspective and that perspective, and it's great. I have gotten so much value from hearing all these different perspectives, and then I personally went in and did my own little research on what the meaning of each planet is and what the North Node represents for me. And it's from a very intuitive place. I'm not a professional astrologer, but I've been studying astrology on my own, piecemeal fashion, for several years in an attempt to put together the pieces of the puzzle of my life and understand why certain things have happened to me and how to use those challenges to move forward and live my best life. I've had a pretty challenging course in this lifetime, and that's what drives me to figure it out and understand it and then work with it and come to see it more as a gift. Today is July 23rd, 2022, and the world is crazy. As of this moment, there are over-the-top heat waves happening. People's homes are literally combusting. There's wildfires. There is uprise against authority, old structures that the people have had enough. And we're seeing financial crises. It's everywhere. It's affecting every aspect of our life. There's a lot of fear and hysteria around this, and it's understandable, of course. From my perspective, engaging in the fear and the hysteria is perpetuating that very thing. And I don't subscribe to fear and hysteria. I have my moments, of course, where I look at the news, and I do it very sparingly because energetically I feel that, and it doesn't take long for that energy to seep in. And the next thing you know, it's like a snowball effect. You're just so engrossed in that energy, and it's very hard to work your way out of that. I'm going to talk about this triple conjunction from a perspective of moving through this time and finding the purpose of it, and also to bring it to a micro level to our own personal lives. And where this triple conjunction is happening is going to be completely different for everybody. I always say, whittle it down to the why. Instead of focusing on, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, why is this happening for me? Changes the whole dynamic of it. One of my favorite quotes is, the obstacle is the path. It kind of epitomizes this whole thing, especially with the North Node playing a huge part in this. I'm going to share some basic foundational characteristics of the two planets, and then the North Node, which isn't a planet, it's a mathematical point in the sky. And I also just want to say that this conjunction, which is happening at 18 degrees Taurus, is conjuncting my sun, which is at 17 degrees 5 minutes. This is massive for me. I kind of feel like things are so calm and quiet in my life right now. Things are moving and things are shifting, but nothing over the top dramatic. When that fear kicks in, it's like, oh my God. But I have committed to surrendering to this and flowing with it, and just keeping in the forefront of my mind that whatever changes take place in my personal life is for the betterment of my life. It's to bring greatness to my life. I definitely encourage you to take a look at your birth chart and just do some research yourself, and then really open yourself to intuit what it is and why is it happening for you. If you can get to that place, it empowers you. It's like saying, okay, this is happening. How can I use it to my best advantage? And amazing things could happen. And even if things fall apart, it's for your best interest. And removing the fear and the hysteria and the anxiety. You don't have to go far to listen to some astrologers who are just propagating this hysteria. It makes me really sad, actually. It breaks my heart because people who are out there searching really are hungry for some kind of solace or some kind of guidance through this. Pick and choose wisely. If you feel like you're being drawn into anything that doesn't serve you, it's okay. Just walk away from it. So I'm going to start with Uranus, and this is some common characteristics, traits of Uranus that resonate with me. I'm just bringing this down to a personal level. Okay, so Uranus is the planet of liberation and breakthroughs and breakouts. It is forward-looking, very innovative, transformative. It celebrates originality and self-discovery. It's progressive. And it's in tune with the energy that sparks intuition and spurs invention. It pushes past limitations and resurfaces with a new sense of freedom. And its energy encourages us to reinvent ourselves and calls on the importance of authenticity. I believe that Uranus is a planet that whatever's activating it at a specific time and in a specific area of your life calls for getting on board fast. From my personal experience, I know for certain that there's been like massive changes in my life previously. And when there's change required for your path and you're resisting that, it will happen anyway. We have the power to make it less painful by moving with it. So I know that's easier said than done. There's nothing easy about that. So that's Uranus in this triple conjunction. Mars is the planet of passion and determination and will and drive and energy. It's a masculine energy. And I believe it commands us to stand up and get things done. Take charge. Initiate. Okay, so that's Uranus energy with Mars energy, and these two combined meets the North Node. For me, the North Node represents where we're moving towards, where we're being driven and pushed towards our destiny. When we are leaving the South Node energy, which is what we know, and I believe in reincarnation, so it's where we've come from. It's what's familiar. It's what we know how to work with, even if it's toxic and dysfunctional and destructive. It's where we are moving from to something else. And that process is difficult in and of itself. So when this conjunction is happening on the North Node, it's propelling us out of what we know into where we're meant to go. Rocket fuel energy. And resisting that is like a high-speed locomotive train at top speed going downhill, and we are like, stop. Like, it's not even possible. Like, it's destructive to try to stop it. I think that slowly we're becoming more aware, because this energy isn't just starting on July 31st. It's building. I feel it. Uranus's unpredictability. It's one of its common characteristics. And you know, the North Node is going somewhere that we've never been. We are not familiar with it. All of these energies compounding, it's just incredible. Something else I wanted to say, I'm not going to get too much into it, but this conjunction is almost exactly squaring Saturn, which is really also incredible because some of the characteristics of Saturn is that it's restriction, order, limitation, rigid, traditional, karma. It represents reduction, oppression, control, that kind of energy. So what came to me with this is that there's this intense energy of momentum, breakthrough towards something. What came to me is the analogy of sitting in a car. We're leaving to go from one place into another, but it's like in a fog because we don't know where we're going. We just know we have to go. and we push the gas pedal to the floor with this energy backing us and just go. And then all of a sudden Saturn comes along and puts full force on the brake. When I visualize that, for me, I feel it, that intensity, if sense of absolute resistance. But the good thing is this energy of Uranus, Mars, and the North Node, like we got to get to where we're going now. And that energy is stronger and more powerful, I believe, than the energy that Saturn brings to that. You can see that playing out. People are like, enough is enough. And that's good. I see that as a good thing. It's positive, in my opinion. For me, how to use this energy is looking at where I am. How have I been operating? Have I been operating out of restriction, oppression, suppression, limitations, the old rigid traditional structures, control issues, and that kind of thing? Where and how has that played out in my life? And I know I'm moving toward this liberating new paradigm or outlook or perspective. So I think taking it into your own personal life and seeing where those things exist in your awareness and how to break out of those. I know personally, I literally wake up in the morning and I say to myself, okay, just put one foot in front of the other. I get up, I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and I'm literally like operating from that. Make a coffee, feed my fur babies, and I just move so mindfully in that, because if I start getting too far ahead of the game for myself, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that and what's going to happen to this and how's that going to happen? That's the fear. And then you look outside and you're like, oh my God, this is crashing, that's crashing, this is burning, that's blowing up. It doesn't take long to get caught up in fear and hysteria. I think it's going to take incredible amount of Mars energy, your will and your drive and your passion to stay out of that, really. So whatever themes you're just done with, it's just over, it's been played out over and over and over. It's time to just say, okay, embrace this time. These challenges are the path. It's the breakthrough. I've thought about some different strategies to use. Well, that is the strategy. To really commit yourself, dedicate to staying outside of the fear and hysteria, and really get quiet and really get calm, and whatever your spiritual practices are, to really, really tune into that and be open for direction without resistance. Surrender, really. All those things are going to serve you. It is the money. That is the currency right now. That is your ticket to safety and security. I have some old toxic things that have kept me in loops around money and also resentment, and how I'm looking at transmuting that stuff into something positive. Taking some action. I'm applying for a money course that I think is going to be amazing, and if it all works out, I'm going to do some YouTube stuff on it. And then I'm looking at strategies and ways to move this resentment out, because it's ugly, man. I'm done with it. It holds me back. It keeps me in this really low energy. It drains me really fast. The struggle is I see legitimate reasons to be resentful of stuff that's happened or happening, and that it's a real process. Anyways, I'm working on that stuff, and I'll tell you, when I can liberate myself like completely, whatever it goes down to my soul's core, I'm so excited about that, because that's going to free me up. And the trauma around money and safety and security, which we're all looking at that. Nobody's exempt from that. Getting to the root of the trauma around that, around safety and security. For me, what it's come down to is moving away from seeing my safety and security as an external thing, and tap into the internal resources that I have and how can I manifest safety and security from an internal place. That's really deep and that's transformative. So I know that, and it makes me so excited. It's hard because you have to look at hard stuff, like really hard stuff. You have to get to it. That's shadow work. It's not rainbows and unicorns at all. But the other side is bliss. So I'm going to close this out. So if it lands on you and it provides you with some type of comfort, anything that helps facilitate blessings in your life, I feel super, super grateful. Be well. Take care.